Paradise Regained by John Milton. The Fourth Book. Perplexed and troubled at his bad success, the tempter stood, nor had what to reply, discovered in his fraud, thrown from his hope so oft, in the persuasive rhetoric that sleeked his tongue, and won so much on Eve, so little here, nay lost. But Eve was Eve, this far his overmatch, who self-deceived and rash, beforehand had no better weighed the strength he was to cope with, or his own. But, as a man who had been matchless held in cunning, overreached where least he thought, to solve his credit, and for very spite, still will be tempting him who foils him still, and never cease, though to his shame the more. Whereas a swarm of flies in vintage time, about the wine-press, where sweet must is poured, beat off, returns as oft with humming sound, or surging waves against a solid rock, though all to shivers dashed, the assault renew, vain battery, and in froth or bubbles end. So Satan, whom repulse upon repulse met ever, and to shameful silence brought, yet gives not o'er, though desperate of success, and his vain importunity pursues. He brought our Saviour to the western side of that high mountain, whence he might behold another plain, long, but in breadth not wide, washed by the southern sea, and on the north to equal length backed with a ridge of hills that screened the fruits of the earth and seats of men from cold septentrion blasts. Thence in the midst, divided by a river, off whose banks on each side an imperial city stood, with towers and temples proudly elevate, on 7 small hills with palace adorned, porches and theatres, baths, aqueducts, statues and trophies and triumphal arcs. Gardens and groves presented to his eyes, above the height of mountains interposed. By what strange parallax or optic skill of vision, multiplied through air or glass of telescope, were curious to inquire. And now the tempter thus his silence broke. The city which thou seest no other deemed than great and glorious Rome, queen of the earth so far renowned, and with the spoils enriched of nations. There the Capitol thou seest, above the rest, lifting his stately head on the Tarpeian rock, her citadel impregnable. And there Mount Palatine, the imperial palace, compass huge, and high the structure, skill of noblest architects, with gilded battlements conspicuous far, turrets and terraces and glittering spires, many a fair edifice besides, more like houses of gods, so well I have disposed my airy microscope. Thou mayst behold, outside and inside both, pillars and roofs carved work, the hand of famed artificers in cedar, marble, ivory, or gold. Thence to the gates cast round thine eye, and see what conflux issuing forth or entering in, praetors, proconsuls to their provinces hasting, or on return in robes of state, lictors and rods, the ensigns of their power, legions in cohorts, terms of horse and wings, or embassies from regions far remote, in various habits, on the Appian road, or on the Aemilian. Some from farthest south, Cyene, and where the shadow both way falls, Meroe, Nilotic Isle, and more to west, the realm of Bocchus to the Blackmoor Sea. From the Asian kings, and Parthian among these, from India in the golden Chersonesus, in utmost Indian isle Taprobane, dusk faces with white silken turbants wreathed, From Gallia, Gades in the British West, Germans and Scythians and Sarmatians north, beyond Danubius to the Tauric pool, all nations now to Rome obedience pay, to Rome's great emperor, whose wide domain and ample territory, wealth and power, civility of manners, arts and arms, and long renown, thou justly mayst prefer before the Parthian. These two thrones except the rest are barbarous, and scarce worth the sight, shared among petty kings too far removed. These having shown thee, I have shown thee all the kingdoms of the world, and all their glory. This emperor hath no son, and now is old and lascivious, and from Rome retired to Capri, an island small but strong, on the Campanian shore, with purpose there his horrid lusts in private to enjoy, committing to a wicked favourite all public cares, and yet of him suspicious, hated of all and hating, with what ease, endued with regal virtues as thou art, appearing and beginning noble deeds, mightest thou expel this monster from his throne, now made a sty, and in his place ascending, a victor people free from servile yoke. And with my help thou mayest, to me the power is given, and by that right I give it thee. Aim, therefore, at no less than all the world. Aim at the highest. Without the highest attained, will be for thee no sitting, or not long, on David's throne. Be prophesied what will.